This is fine. If you're wondering what these are, too, it's just little pools that were made for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's a lava pool and a water pool for them. Because they had to transfer them here. Well, she wasn't as hard. This one was a little bit tricky to get. But you figured it out.
2 dragons picked him up and just flapped him.
Well, considering it needs to live in water to not die?
Yes.
It is a shark.
We lowered a fish tank into the water. On high tension wire.
Most likely you did get some dragon help, yeah.
Yeah. High tension wire, big container.
Oh
that
yeah,
could
there
be
was
filled
one
with
more
water.
thing I did have to change a little bit. I had to change her picture because she was no longer teeny.
Wait, Teeny.
Oh,
Which one's
look
Teeny?
at her!
Oh, he...
Yeah.
Oh, she's all grown up. So
Excellent.
proud.
She's no longer small anymore.
So proud.
I heard Teeny in my first thought went to that
And there's
rabbit,
Mason as
and I
well.
was terrified.
Yeah. All the kiddos.
And my silent boy, Garrett.
Yeah, he's one of the few that's lived, but that's because he was away from a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he that was probably what saved him. Just being in the Feywild, most likely around Cam and them a bit. So that would be another influence you have to consider.
Who was? Sorry.
Garrett.
Oh, yeah. I
'Cause he was
forgot
the
that
guardian.
was around. Yeah, that's right. So yeah. That would be somebody that would be around a good bit.
Mm-hmm. At least checking in.
Mm-hmm.
There's only certain people could actually hear his voice.
There.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome back to... This is not the Rift you all remember.
So
Hey,
things
hi,
have
hello.
changed.
There's been some changes that have happened. When we ended the last one, the party was going to go and speak with a lot of the leaders and try to come up with a plan. They were able to prolong some of it, which is why the world is not necessarily... It's in some destruction, but it's not in complete destruction. They were able to kind of stop some of it, but not all of it. There's still a lot of loss, there was still a lot of death and cities fallen. Many of the dragons still fell, but there were some that you did change their fates a little bit. So there is some upsides to it. It's not much to look at, but it is an upside.
Someone was helping.
I will take any positive at this point.
By technicality, the only one that had technically survived before was Dax and his mother. So the fact that you have several dragons is already a plus side. Including a new one here. She was the guardian. I believe I put her as the Elysium Guardian.
Nice.
She kind of worked alongside like the Moon Dogs. The sages, unfortunately, were found.
What? No, could not tell by the list you sent to us that the
No.
sages had a bad time.
Once the dragon gained enough power, it started looking for specific sources that could stop it. It is currently its current goal is to find you all. For obvious reasons.
Oh.
Though we may die, the resistance lives on.
There are things to note. Your continent is not the only one that's been taken over. There are actually a few others. 4 to be exact, others. The north, south, east, and west. Across the water.
God.
All with different people ruling them. The ones you are aware of, you know, the dragon resides to the north, which was a place that used to be home to dragons and to Aaron at one point, when he was younger. There is a peak there, which I need to double check the name of that peak real quick. I believe I had to look it up this way. Is known as the Dragon Eyrie. Thank you for the resub. The most you guys know about it is it was the original home of, like, all dragons long ago. And was where Tiamat ruled. So that's about as much as you know about that place, that it's in the dead center of that landmass.
Good.
You know that current continent is being run by the unfavored bird.
Great!
And an unknown ally. It's you know for sure it's run by 2 people, but you don't know who the second person is.
And this is control of our continent?
This
currently?
is your continent, yes.
Okay.
Actually, no, you would know all the other ones, technically. Because they would not have kept it secret who's controlling what. They're all a bit arrogant in their own way. There we go. There was a tiny green dot that I had to erase. There's like little dots on my board and it's bugging the crap out of me. Why?
Leftover from something.
Bless you.
Probably something that I drew a long time ago, yeah. To the south, you know it as the place that people are sent when their betrayal deems them death being too good for them.
Oh.
That is the way I'll phrase that. You definitely...
Big punishment is how I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
So Australia.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. It's England. It is Australia. It is what is Australia to England. That is what that is.
A few of you are very familiar with this person because you all have a very, very big hatred for them. Kendall is the one there.
Oh! Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he's still alive.
I hate him. Why is he here?
Certain people made certain deals.
I
Terrifying thought.
You know that to the west is the toy maker. You guys have heard rumors more than anything, because no one's dared to go visit any of these islands. Really, a lot of this is just what you've heard from people that have tried to run. A lot of people have been turned into dolls there, which you probably assume is true.
Yeah.
No, that's completely out of character for a toy maker.
Oh yeah, totally. Completely. Uh-huh.
And to the east, you have heard that Adenar controls that.
Oh. Lovely!
And the rumors you've heard about that place is that he created, amongst whatever planes were there, a combination of the Shadowfell with it all. So it is a place for lost souls, what the island is called. Now. Used to be a normal place to go. Now it's just a place for lost souls. It's fine.
Yeah, because he really did just want to continue doing his job, didn't he?
Yeah? You're hoping that's all he's doing over there.
Oh,
You guys aren't 100% sure what's going on.
I don't know if I want to know.
I'll mark it at some point, because it's probably for, like, a future reference. You have... Not including your current party. I need to make a roll real quick. Okay. That's what the number will go with, according to the dice gods.
Okay,
Not including the group of people that you guys are well aware of and gotten to know. You only have 25 civilians actually living in the city that you've rescued.
That is not a lot, but a lot.
Huh. So
That
this is
is-
Ragnarok.
Essentially, and for the most part, you guys have only really been able to save people on your own continent right now. And when I say save, the way the world works is there are no major cities left. Any of the major cities are in ruin. And many of them overrun by creatures and stuff. If anything, that's actually where you find some air survivors, because that's where they go to hide. Despite it being dangerous, so many of them opt to go with danger versus the hell. Villages, though, that surround, like, the area throughout all these plains. That's where many of the people still live. And they are forced to work and basically worship this dragon. And they've all been marked. So freeing them is also not as simple as just bringing them here. It's also hiding them, convincing them, things like that, because there's such a fear set in. So it's not so much that you're low on civilians because they've died, many of you have died. It's more of there's so many of them too afraid to leave. And some of them have been made examples of. Which is how you guys came to have, like, Julius and Mystic over here. Where they have the mark, but their village is gone. Or at least they came from somewhere that was destroyed. Most people don't wander anymore. You kind of just stay where you are.
Yeah.
And you also had to be careful, because there are so many that are, I don't want to say faithful, I'd say fearful of the dragon, that they are looking for you and keeping an eye out for you. So you always had to be cautious when approaching people, because they might turn around and betray.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna roll a d8, see how many. So there's, with these two, there's a total of 6 that all have those marks. Between the civilians and these two.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was probably somebody that already had lived here at one point. Of course, many of them fell during defending things.
Mm-hmm.
Internet, I will slap you. Oof.
Behave.
It is being attacked because of the weather.
Roots.
Those frame drops, though.
Yes, for me, frame drops. Yay!
Yeah. That's unfortunately going to happen a lot.
Yeah. It's okay.
You guys are going about your day, and Harx, you know that some of your siblings are out kind of doing their scouting thing. It's usually like a once a week, a few of them leave to do that.
Yeah, and he's probably anxious every time they leave.
Yeah, and sometimes you're actually one of the ones sent. It just depends on what kind of thing they're sent to do.
Mm-hmm.
These 3 were actually, because you would be aware, Hunter would not hide what they're doing, just based on, he knows you all worry. They went to the library in Celestia. And Ace still has a lot of his teleportation set up, so getting to a lot of these planes is not necessarily hard. It's just traveling carefully between that and wherever you have to go. And usually the reason these 3 are sent is they're some of the more stealthy. Yeah, because they're like 2, if I remember right, they're 2 rogues and a bard. Or something. Yeah,
I think so.
So yeah, they tend to be the ones to go on more of the excursions to recover items or anything like that. While you are kind of waiting anxiously, you receive word to go get Julius and meet at Ace's office. Which usually is not unusual when you're being asked to go do something.
Yeah.
Reyan, you also get this. Is that how you say it? Reyan?
Yeah.
Okay. You also get this message while you're with your mother. Good luck RPing with yourself. I don't know if you thought that through.
Listen, it's fine. I've done this before.
You could also just say what they discuss and things. You don't necessarily have to RP it. I know that's such a pain in the butt.
Yeah, honestly, he probably just mentions to Cam, like, hey, I've been asked to go do a thing, and when she's told who it is, she's like, just be careful, don't agree to anything until you talk to me.
Don't agree to anything?
Well, about that.
You read the fine print, sir.
Yeah.
Listen, Cam learned her lesson.
There are ways to communicate between everyone. They did have a limited supply of like earrings, so they try to keep it more on people who go out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you return it when you're back, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you have to get a special like card from Ace or something, which he has to make those. It's more likely that he gathered up the earrings that you all had at one point and is using those. And gives it to, like, whoever's leading the party. Because there would still be such a limited supply, because there weren't that many of your group that survived that had those.
Yeah.
Internet? I swear.
We're watching
Okay.
you.
But yeah. So you get word. You're told there's no rush, but you are told that you are to meet up there.
Fantastic. He'll probably start making his way.
Okay. Julius, for your reference, is not happy. He's kind of pouting a little, but he's following. He's not the adventuring type.
Harx will kind of just pat him on his shoulder. Hopefully it's quick. He can come back.
Just kind of gives you this side, annoyed look.
Yeah.
Go ahead, dear. Whenever you go.
Yeah, he probably headed along. Oh god. Oh god. The game said no for a second.
Yeah.
So there's a thing to note when you enter the office, and this is something that everybody is well aware of. Ace is sitting behind his desk,
Oh, good.
kind of his hands together, rests like his chin on his hands. He's got this big smile when you guys enter, which is not typically a good thing when he starts asking you to do stuff with that look.
No.
It means you're doing something that he probably... How do I explain it? It wasn't his decision, it was more of somebody pestered him until he got a group to do it.
Good.
Which it would not take long to figure out who, because Elijah's in the room.
Yeah, Harx would see him and be like, looks at Julius, I don't think this is going to be quick.
Right. So, how would you all like to go on a little adventure?
I think I'm supposed to ask specifics.
Nah, you don't need that. You just need to know that you're going to the library.
Isn't that where you sent the other three?
That's where your dad sent the other three. Don't worry, they're not in trouble. Let me reassure you there.
Looks over at Elijah. You want us to grab something.
Yeah, they found something that I thought got destroyed.
Fantastic.
Why us?
Because they're not the right people to touch the thing. Don't worry about that, you're gonna be fine.
I feel like this is something my mother should not know about.
It'll be in and out.
It won't take long. No one will notice you're gone. You're just picking up something for me.
What are we picking up?
A person.
A person?
Yes.
Harx just sort of blinks. And it's eerie when he blinks because his eyes are just white.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just kind of like, so first you say it's a thing, and now you say it's a person.
Well, the person is inside the thing.
What? Hold on. I definitely now need more detail.
Oh my
You
god, I
see-
just realized he has Cam's accent.
A little bit, yeah. There's a slight accent to it.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me...
Grew up with.
Yeah, let me try to explain it. So, we did not build that library. Somebody else did. We just added to it later. It was meant to be a safe haven for the creators' children, as they were referred to. Unfortunately, I thought that they had all died, but apparently not. One might be alive in there.
And again, you want motions to himself and the other two to go deal with this. This sounds a little more important.
Give me a second. Internet. Okay. Things will be revealed in time, but specifically, yes, you three are special and can wake her up.
I'm not going to ask. There's just... Alright.
It's really a long, long story. She might recognize something. She might tell you some details. Who knows?
Aha.
Also, how many of you speak Celestial?
Kind of blinks and have you met my mother?
Right. That is the oldest language. That's probably the only one she knows. Good luck.
Yeah, Harx is just staring blankly at this point. He's used to this kind of thing, so he's just kind of that look of, okay, get on with it. We're going to take care of it.
Yeah. Ace has been sitting there just kind of slightly face-palming, listening to all this.
I can almost assume that's partially where Harx gets his annoyance from, as far as, okay, we need to get to it.
Hold on.
Like, I think we understand. Oh no.
Holding?
It keeps dropping a zero.
I am holding onto my desk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding my desk, don't worry.
I wish it would keep, quit dropping so many frames and just steady long enough, but... Yeah, he just lets out this long sigh. Because it's one of those things that while he is the person leading all of this, if he's pestered enough by certain people, he is not the only one in charge. Which is probably a mixture of Elijah, Amos, Hunter, and maybe Cam. That could convince him to do stuff a lot. And that's two of them are just pure pestering. The other two, one's his son, one's his lover. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out, if my mother comes asking, you have to deal with her.
I know how to evade questions. But you guys can use one of the transporters and get over there. Just be careful going through the land.
Alright.
Avoid towns, you know the rules.
Looks over at Elijah. Better idea. We taking care of this for you. You're on cam distraction duty.
Oh, that's easy.
There, now she won't come looking for you.
Cam distraction duty involves him fucking with her.
Exactly.
You gotta remember, this was the Cheshire type of thing.
Right.
And he has probably seen just random shit be fucked with. And then him just walk around the corner away from it. So he's been like, yep.
He'll walk by, pat you on the shoulder. Don't worry, I'll mentally exhaust her so she decides to go take a nap or something.
Don't get stabbed.
5 minutes later. Hi, Cam! Like, that's just the...
The eyes narrow. What do you want?
Just want to talk. Like, that's basically his attitude.
Never want to talk.
Okay, out of character, even I know that's a lie.
He's not... Okay, he was, remember, the blunt one that was never charismatic, but you also could never tell if he was lying or not with some things.
Mm-hmm.
Because he would tell you, like... Because his was the answer the questions thing. You asked, like, questions, and he would give you, like, either a correct or wrong answer, or a, like, roundabout answer. That was his whole shtick.
Okay.
Right, I wish you guys luck on this. Tell the other 3 not to break anything when you get there.
Yeah, well, hopefully
back to
Nastara
work.
has them handled.
Yeah, tell them to get back to work. They're supposed to be looking for stuff.
Yeah.
Like, books to bring back.
Yeah.
Which it was a very big library by the time you guys had seen it. So even it takes a lot of trips, even if they were to bring like bags of holdings with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you also had to find like places to put them here.
Yeah.
They're basically trying to find anything that didn't get destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't imagine like there's a big empty room here that has just stacks of books everywhere spread out. Trying to make everything fit.
Possibly. They probably actually ended up using one of the bigger homes, even though it's not big enough.
You know, yeah.
And most likely Elijah's the one you kind of have to ask for things because he would have to organize it in a way to find anything. Which he's not the most efficient with it because he was kind of a lazy fucker. So there is a lot that's still unsorted that you guys have to search for yourselves if it even exists in there. If anything, what he has gone through, he's made like an inventory of, a book of, in like order to find. But there's still a lot that's just stacked up in a corner.
I'm sure it's fine.
It is not a fun place to go searching through for information. But yeah, you are welcome to go and use the thing to transport there, which it would probably take you from the one that he had there near Celestia, near the main city. It's probably still about a 4-hour walk, because it was technically near the village.
Mm-hmm.
A little further back, basically. Because that's how he would go and keep an eye on the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop freezing and saving. Like, you just saved, did you not? Like, holy shit. I'm
to save again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move these guys over here, just to kind of move them out of the way. For now, we're just gonna stick you guys in corners.
We're going to the corner.
Yeah. But you have some room to kind of move around-ish.
Ooh.
But yeah.
We are the corner.
Do you guys do anything or have any talks on the way there? Julius is kind of quiet, so he's not gonna talk unless he's prompted.
Mm-hmm.
He's still small and young.
Alright, let's make this quick.
I can agree to that. The sooner we get back, the better.
And the sooner we get back, the less of a headache your mother's going to have.
Yeah, mostly that.
I see no problem with this.
Probably it for the time being.
Yeah.
It's fine. I feel like Elijah like tries to flirt with her and she just like refuses anything.
Oh no.
Yeah, the only person she kind of flirts with anymore is Kel. That's just their relationship in general.
Yeah, it's like a friend flirting.
Yeah, and even that, they both are very well aware that that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
She's got hang-ups. It's
Drama.
fine.
It's fine. You would eventually arrive into the city, and it's... Harx, you've probably been here before and recently, so you're used to the scenery, but, Reyan and Julius have not seen much of the outside since coming here. They don't leave very often. So seeing a place that you probably only heard of as a holy place, especially for Reyan, because this was gone technically before either of you ever got a chance to visit it. You do recognize a lot of temples that are in destruction, symbols for different gods, as you're walking through the city, and you guys are... I'm not going to make you roll the stealth, because I did not plan any combat, but you do kind of avoid any creatures running around. there are a lot of remnants of whatever battle took place here. There's weapons strewn about, there are decaying bodies. It is not a pretty sight. It is definitely a lot of the major cities did not get a lot of time to be put to rest, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, if the dragon gets to them, typically they're put on display on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Of this is what
They are a warning.
They are a warning. There are even places just around the world that are just people set up in ways of this is what'll happen to you. You don't follow me type of attitude.
Yep.
You get to the main building, and it's a little bit of a feat to get down to the library, but there is a path that had been cleared. This library, there's whatever was there to salvage is gone. Everything else is half-burned books or completely turned to dust. But you guys, you were able to recover the way in there. Mm-hmm. And that's because that book was magical and could not just be destroyed.
Yeah.
So you're aware, Harx, of how to enter this special library.
Yeah.
Which doesn't look too different when you guys do enter. It is also definitely been attacked. For such a big place, you can only destroy so much, even in a big place.
Yeah.
That's why they have to go digging, essentially. It's like an excavation project, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, as they make their way in, alright, just watch your step.
Yeah. She actually will be waiting near the teleporter.
No, just me. I'm the only one who's talking about it. I'm like, nah, just me.
No.
Oh, it's fine. Safe to enter?
Yes, well, I would assume so, yes.
Why does it say 1 out of 3? It says players 1 of 3. Yeah, but it says players 1 of 3.
Yeah, Spire's in here.
Oh, I didn't know it actually showed up like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hello.
I didn't know it showed this host separately, actually. That was actually what I was meaning. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
I believe it does.
The session is full, apparently.
Is it?
Yeah.
Weird, because before I only had it set to 4.
That's weird.
That is weird. Did they change how it works?
Tabletop, stop changing things.
Yeah.
That's okay. You guys haven't.
Yes.
The Stara is not too far away from where you guys enter.
Uh-huh.
Looks like she's been waiting for you. Because most likely she was the party leader of that group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the second oldest, so that's understandable.
It's kind of more of a decision thing, but in the case of taking the younger kids with them, they tend to make the oldest one, or the more responsible one.
Yeah.
Right. This way. She kind of looked at all of you like, oh, you're the ones that they sent? Okay, I guess. Not so much anything as, you guys in general, she just didn't expect the other kids to be sent. Kind of assumed it'd be some of the adults.
I mean, that's fair. That is completely fair.
Yeah.
Understandable.
You're her little brother, you're still a kid to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'll lead you through a lot of the rubble and destruction, and there's a path that they opened up.
Mhm.
It looks like it used to be a wall once. And there's a staircase that leads down. And she'll motion for you guys to carefully follow her down these stairs. And you get down there, and there's what looks like it used to be some kind of doorway. You can see remnants of that there was some kind of magic on this at one point before it was destroyed with the symbols. But it's in pieces now.
Yes.
And inside kind of throws you off for a moment because you've seen some technologies and everything, but it feels more advanced than even what you've seen. These two are currently standing over some kind of machine. Looks almost like a coffin, but not. You can't see through the glass. It's like fogged over kind of looking.
Mhm.
You do see that there are 4 other ones. 3 of them are broken. And when you go... Well, do you go and look inside them?
Yeah, probably.
In each one there are bodies that have long... I wouldn't say long died. It looks like this probably happened when the library was attacked. So they are still decaying at this point. Looks like they unburied the one that they're looking at, and it got buried in the rubble, and that's why it didn't get destroyed. The others were not as lucky.
Oh.
Looks like something had attacked them while you can assume by their positions while they slept.
Ooh.
And something you're going to notice about them, Reyan, because I assume you're looking too.
Yeah.
There's a similarity that you notice with them. They all have these black wings. Similar to yours.
Huh.
Don't worry about that.
When away.
The 4th one is empty. It looks like it had been opened before this was attacked. There's no trace of blood or any signs that whoever was in there was here when it happened. But you do find 2 males and a female, basically, that are dead. These 2 are currently attempting to pry open the one that's there, but are having no luck.
Can I look over it to see if there's like a mechanism that opens it?
You're not. It's smooth. It's like there's no sure way to open it.
Okay, better question.
Uh-huh.
Looking at the other bodies, did it look like they were possibly crushed as far as when the things were broken, or did they possibly die because they were broken?
They don't look like they died because it was broken. It looks like if it was opened, they were supposed to wake up. I'll give you that.
Okay.
It weren't necessarily crushed. It looks like something. They have like these whole like it looks like something pierced into them in like their chest regions. So most likely whatever found them, you're not sure if it was necessarily the dragon or if it was something else that found this specific area of the enemies that you have. But they probably, when they entered this room, did not realize that there was one left.
Gotcha. Okay. Fuck it, yeah. He'd look at Reyan. You might want to, get over here and get ready.
Right.
He'll summon his packed weapon in his hand, which is a rapier.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll go to about midway down the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a glass overtop thing, or is it solid metal?
It looks like glass.
Okay.
You just can't see through it.
Cool. He takes the hilt.
Yeah, it gives off like this cold feeling when you're near it.
Gotcha. Yeah, he just takes the hilt of his rapier and just smashes it down in the middle of it.
Does nothing. You are not strong enough to pierce this, so whatever did this was stronger.
So you were absolutely correct. He only has a 10 strength.
So what the heck were you thinking?
Glass, metal pinpoint
that is fair. It was a
is
good
on the
try.
bottom of the rapier. It doesn't take a lot of strength for a pinpointed area to just crack glass. And he's a smart individual.
Safety hammers they intend to give you cars exist.
Yeah.
I think Reyan's just going to wander over and kind of like put a hand on top of it, just trying to get an idea of what the heck is going on here.
Okay. You place your hand on it.
Yep.
And you see a symbol light up. Nothing happens, but you do see a symbol light up.
Does it look like a familiar symbol?
It looks like saloons.
Huh.
You know what? For shits and giggles, Harx is gonna just facepalm,
Huh?
and then Celestial say open.
It does not work.
It's a good idea, but no.
That was not the idea I had, but it's brilliant. I actually kind of sad I didn't think of that.
Boy, because as far as the question of do you speak Celestial, I'm sitting there like, he would have sat there,
That is a
it didn't
good
work
assumption.
cracking it, and then he'd be like, that son of a bitch.
Jolas. Gonna kind of tilt his head, and he's going to reach out and touch it as well. He's a pretty smart kiddo. He's got like a 16 intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Quincy. Soon to be triplety.
The symbol grows brighter. It glows brighter.
Oh, fucking course.
Mm-hmm.
He places his hand on it.
It's almost blinding at first, and then as you're all holding your hand there, you feel the glass vanish beneath your hands. And this cold wave of what you're not really sure what it is that was preserving this person inside, but it is freezing as it escapes it. And as the smoke clears, you see a woman sleeping in the casket.
In the casket.
That's what I'm going to call it, because it's basically a
casket.
it's basically a cryo chamber.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is.
It was not. I just napped and it went cold for a second, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
Fair.
He is your resting in your dream world. You see the world fading. And slowly your eyes blink and oh fuck me. Hold on. Stop it.
Hold on.
Stop it. Stop it. Internet.
I don't mean to laugh because I know it's frustrating.
Fuck.
I just, you know.
Fuck balls ass, as Jay would say.
Shitballs ass.
Yeah.
Fuck shitballs ass.
Is that the password?
It's trying. It's trying so hard.
It's trying.
The wise words of Travis Willingham. Fuck shitballs ass.
I'm gonna say she actually backed the fuck up because she's fucking a tiefling that's freezing ass cold.
Yeah, you know, I get that.
Other things. Ah, fuck, cold. Okay.
Yeah. Come on, internet. You can do it.
We believe.
Oh, can do.
Come on. Maybe I should just go reset it because it's being super slow, but then I know it's gonna get reset again.
You know,
Stream listen to the chaos that's going on in between this.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Can
Just
I describe Rand for everybody? Because he does not. He's.
You may if you want to do any descriptions. I didn't really plan too much on it other than giving like the small, this is Cam's son, so obviously it's Jarvis's son
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's.
It's pretty obvious based on how he looks, to be fair. He looks almost like the
Yeah.
exact copy of the two of them.
I scoured the internet for this. It took me so long to find something I was happy with. I was like, this'll do. This will do for now.
You gotta love when you happen to come across like the perfect, like, this is the best child.
Yeah,
He
you know,
dove into my Pinterest. Like, that's how I had to do this.
Oh god.
dude, those times, like, I went searching for this image for hours, but I was like, nothing I'm finding currently is pleasing to me, so I'm just gonna cannibalize something from a different folder entirely.
Yeah. The only things that are not pictured are the fact that probably under that hood is his horns, and then the black wings that are constantly out.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I am one of two majestic flap-flaps that live in this room.
Yup. I'm sure
That's what
he
you
had-
think.
Oh, my family's
Yeah.
dead.
Hi, Jay.
look, that's what you think. The changeling has other words.
Okay, back to the description.
Yes.
Hi.
Right. He is. You're kind of blinking and the world's fading. You see a new world. You recognize some of it as you're looking up and your vision's clearing, but you also see that it's destroyed. The place you built.
Yeah,
And your vision kind of clears up and you see technically 4 people kind of looking at you curiously, I imagine.
Mhm.
2 of them being, well, actually 3 of them being children, technically.
Yeah, as she's waking up and realizing a particular thing about her dreamscape, she's gonna put a pin in that as her eyes goes wide, and she's gonna jump up and check the other things real quick.
You see the thing that I described earlier.
Perfect.
3 of them are dead, and one was opened at one point in time.
Yeah, basically she'll be going down the line. Fuck. I should
did
have
not-
voice prepared for this.
We did not necessarily come up with names, but that's
Mhm.
okay.
Just imagine she is saying names in what is effectively Latin and is collapsing at the final one, just like...
Latin celestial, I think is what we
Yeah.
decided. It's like an older celestial. You guys still understand it, but there is like some
Mhm.
weird phrasing to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But seeing one opened and like she's gonna like collapse in front of the coffin of the final corpse.
And Celestial, are you all right?
And her weird ass archaic celestial. They all have fallen.
Reyan's just got this like little bit of a furrow to his brow going on because like it's just slightly different that he's like
Oh
having
fuck!
to
I need
process
to
all
use
of it.
brain translate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just slightly different enough that he's like having to catch certain things that's like, wait, that's just weird.
Yep.
Just gonna walk over. There's many that have fallen. Not just them.
Just kind of turn her head to the open casket. What a Virtus.
She looks confused.
Very confusing name, I'm aware.
Yeah. Reyan, roll me an intelligence check.
Oh god, that's not one of his good stats.
Oh god! That's the one thing he didn't get from his father? Are you kidding?
Okay, here's the unfortunate thing about the stats. You saw the stats that I rolled.
I know.
I put them in the ones that I figured would matter for him most, and then gave him a little extra in the charisma department because I was like, his parents. I can't not.
Zarvis was not charismatic. Cam was the charismatic one. Zarvis was smart.
Yeah. Wow, that worked out. That's an 18.
18? It takes you a second processing the name. But you have heard a similar name, and you are aware that it means virtue.
What was the name said, by the way? That way I can...
She spoke of Virtus.
It is essentially the old language name version.
Old language version.
Yeah.
Yes, I did 5 whole minutes of Latin research for this.
Because of what you have told me, now, asking some of those questions, you have heard of somebody that goes by that name.
He, at least, I feel like he would probably know that's at least in relation to his family at some point.
That's one of the guardians in the sword.
Yeah.
That was also great-grandma,
Yeah.
technically, but I don't know if he knows that grandpa and great-grandma are in there.
I don't know I know that, like, he probably got smatterings of stories about his family and about the sword and things like that, but not anything real detailed and concrete to, like, full-on connect everything for him.
That he's actually related to 2 of them.
Yeah. He's just going to furrow his brow again and go, virtue. Who is that to you?
One of my kin.
What is your name?
I'm known as Mihi.
My name is Reyan. The star starts introducing everybody, basically.
Yeah.
Don't mean to be a bit blunt with this, but the more of us that hang around in one spot, the more attention that gets drawn.
Right.
That's why smaller groups are usually sent.
Yes, and we have to finish our excursion at the library. Come on, you 2. As she kind of just walks over, grabs them both by, like, their collars and starts dragging them back upstairs.
Tracks.
She's the big sister, man.
Yep.
Come on, this doesn't involve us.
Mihi, I think might be able to. And something that's come.
You're
True.
cutting out a lot.
That a lot.
Oh, am I? Sorry.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Someone asked to treat you, and I think we can help you.
Okay. She'll take a breath and stand. Oh, how would you put this? Like that? Alright. Yeah, she... It's not hiding. She has this look like there was pain there, but she has no idea how the hell to show it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What's the intention that I be of aid of you if my understanding is clear?
Perhaps? Not entirely sure.
We were sent.
Uh,
Oh, Jesus, hi.
Hey, you good? You muted.
Everything okay? Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's nice.
Hmm?
Something spilled on my mouse, so I was cleaning it off, and apparently I didn't realize I hadn't even bumped any buttons because my fingers weren't even near the little mouse triggers.
Huh.
Ah.
But anyways, yeah, things are fine. He, I mean, obviously it's Celestial because it, as it was stated, it's the only one she probably knows.
Julius, unfortunately, is watching this and very confused because he does not know Celestial.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we were just told to come retrieve you. What? After that, we are not aware.
She just looks like she's processing. That's because I feel like there's that slight bit of misunderstanding on her end as well.
Yeah. Like, it's only slight, like, it just takes, like, a couple extra seconds.
Yeah.
Which is why I was going the speed I was going, saying that. I mean, other than player trying to figure out what he's saying. But he probably himself would have recognized the disconnect whenever Reyan was speaking and took her a bit of time to respond. And vice versa. He probably just said it slow enough to where anything could possibly be picked up in the...
Gotcha. So far, Reyan is given their name, right?
Reyan introduced everybody in the room.
Harx just observed it first.
Yeah, you can definitely tell this kid does not understand what's being said right now. You
Harx just up
obviously-
on his shoulder.
Yeah, you would obviously notice his wings, and you would notice this little galaxy-looking cat fox thing, which was kind of her thing. You can tell it's not her, but it is something she probably created.
But I'm not on a square. Sad. My name's just fuck. My brain doing it. Reyan, Harx, and Julius. Is that correct?
Nods.
Correct.
Tilts his head.
Confirming that. Reyan will act as translator.
Well, but say, which funny enough, names wouldn't necessarily
They'd probably
be different.
Sound well.
It would
Very
be a matter
similar.
of pronunciation at that point, but more or less.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know when you say a name in Latin, it doesn't necessarily sound the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different pronunciation and possibly different, slightly, well, obviously different spelling, but there's always a similarity factor to it.
You'll notice that he'll look at like Reyan and then nod to you. Then Mihi. But you have no idea what he said.
Yeah. I'm assuming the nod is a good sign.
Yeah.
But she would turn to look more directly at Harx. And thy companion shares similarities with Lux. Fuck.
That is.
The microphone is being a weird.
No, we caught it.
Okay, good.
It is up to. I will leave it up to you two whether or not you think anyone would have thought that relevant to say, because that was a known entity by the old party.
Which entity?
Lux
Lux, right.
was considered the guardian of the world and the creator. At least that's what people had called her.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cat that appeared randomly.
It was actually the one that saved Krev very early
Bingo.
on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And was seen
Bingo was the name of it.
like 2 or 3 times since then.
Yeah. I feel like Reyan probably knew because stories and like that is of everything that his mother probably should have told him, that was at least something she did.
I almost want to say, and ask the question, would Harx actually know the name of his patron?
No, she never gave you a name.
Just a no, he
You probably would notice the little... are you calling it a fox? Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, I'm just gonna call it a fox.
Alright.
Actually,
It perks up
similarities
a
suck.
bit to the name.
Huh.
Uh,
So that's who you're from.
Yeah, Reyan's still acting as translator, though his tone is confused.
Yeah. Julius does not recognize the name. More will get explained as questions are asked to certain people.
Well, how about any questions we have, anything that needs to be discussed, we do it back home.
I have a feeling we're going to need quite a few for that.
Yes, and we're going to hand it off to Elijah when we get back.
Right.
Anything that happens with you and your mother after that, because he did recognize the recognition of name, so he'd like, whatever needs to happen there can happen in time. Safer if we get back now.
Right. Then we should go.
Yeah. She'll take a look over her shoulder, like, in the direction of the bodies again. Just kind of visibly steel herself. Onwards then.
I am sorry for your loss.
She will just nod.
Yeah, guess we're going back.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, because now, Mihi, now you see what the world has become. No longer this beautiful place that you once knew. You semi... I don't want to say you recognize the city, but you recognize aspects of it. Of, like, similar architecture that you and your siblings did manage to build. That was probably preserved in the city. But this is the first time you've ever seen a city. Much less a destroyed one. Because there was no such thing as civilization during your time.
What matter of structure do you call these?
Well, technically ruins at this point, but
At one point, there were buildings. At this time, they're no longer and have not been for some time.
She's mentally noting the terms buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she has a lot to visualize and process here. Confusion is very visible. That's great.
Hmm?
She is confused. She has become dictionary definition of confused.
unfortunately there's no time to, like, stop and try and help explain.
When you... Yeah. When you guys are heading back and you're almost to the transporter, teleporter thing, do you let Ace or Amos know, because they're probably the two that always keep earrings on them? Yes. Okay, so yeah, you let one of them. Which one did you let know?
Probably both.
Okay.
And yeah, on the way back, and I think it's time to retrieve Elijah from Kamaria.
Yeah, probably. He'll send word, and Cam, in the middle of being pestered by this cat person, he kind of just stops talking suddenly. He goes, "Oh, well, it seems my little scouts are back. See you later." And he literally just vanishes. Just poof.
I don't know why I entertain that man.
We're gonna be floating, sitting there waiting patiently for you guys to get back.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get the ancient person through the teleporter?
Okay, let's see how this goes. Well, we probably approach the teleporter first, and he would motion for Julius to go ahead, because he knows Julius doesn't want to.
Yeah, it's just like a magic symbol
God.
on the ground, basically.
Yeah, he just motions Julius forward. Julius steps forward and goes through it. How does Mihi react to that?
A flap of concern.
The flap of concern.
And just bluntly, all right, your turn.
She is suddenly very concerned about being instantly atomized by stepping on this thing.
It's fine. Actually, it's magic. It'll take us to where we need to. Safely.
Persuasion.
Okay? What is your persuasion? It's not bad. Though I suppose with a natural 1, it doesn't really matter because that's only a 4.
Okay, so with the 0 wisdom modifier, that's a 12.
Oof.
The Harx like to try to convince her.
Reyan, you do this. And he'll motion as far as for Mihi to follow and crouch down next to the symbol. Let me show you this real quick.
Cautiously.
Now, if you look down here and look at this symbol, and he'll attempt to just shove her through it.
Okay. Okay, we're rolling that.
What is this, athletics?
Yeah, to push her, yeah.
Okay.
Versus either my acro or athletics.
I swear to the gods if you just got a natural 20, Jay.
No, I got a 19.
Okay, that beats my 0 modifier of 4.
Yeah,
That's my 0 modifier of 15.
she crouches down, you start explaining, and you just shove her into it as she teleports into a room on your hands and knees now, where you're just like sitting there. You see Julius, and you see a cat person floating in the air like he's sitting in a chair.
Yeah, she has that breathing pattern of, holy shit, I'm fucking dead, what the fuck happened?
Reyan looks at Harx. Now why did you do that?
You couldn't convince them, and
She was
quite
terrified.
Yes, and very cautious and wasn't going to step in it willingly until we convinced her otherwise. So I sped up the process. Come on! Elijah's not with your mother anymore. She'll come looking for you soon.
I know. Steps through.
Same.
While you're there, Mihi kind of lands in front of you. More kind of leaning over you, just... Oh, you get up and step back?
Yeah.
Okay. He's kind of doing that, like, leaning around, observing you for a second. Huh. Not quite what I expected.
What is he speaking in?
Celestial.
Less talk than I expect. Fuck. If I cannot chew on my own fucking tongue, but you know what I mean. Old-timey speech is a bitch.
You chose this path.
I did.
Funny
and
enough...
I didn't want it to turn Shakespeare, but it's becoming Shakespeare.
Funny enough, he's speaking more towards your language. They had to learn a lot.
I am instantly slightly more comfortable with him than anyone else right now.
Fair. Valid.
Oh god, this is a shifter one, isn't it?
Yes, this is the cat shifter that fucks with people. That also is kind of flirty.
Yeah. The Cheshire cat. It's fine.
So she sees ears.
Ears and a tail, yeah.
She looks like she wants to lightly poke at the ear.
He wouldn't stop her.
He is going to be poking the ear.
Usually I like to go on a date with someone first, but you know. How was your sleep?
Just pausing for a minute, going like... this date? Define it.
Yeah, you're on your own with this one. And he just starts walking off.
That's fair. Julius is going to follow back to the other kiddos, basically.
Yeah, that's honestly what would happen. He would just go
You'll all
back.
be called eventually.
Yeah.
Again.
He's like, until that time, he sent us to get her. He's dealing with her.
That's fair. Just gonna put him over here for now.
Okay, probably stay with Julius.
He'll kind of explain that it's been a very long time since she had fallen asleep. And is Reyan staying here and listening to this?
He kind of is. He's thinking about needing to go find his mom and ask questions, but he's like, Elijah also seems to know things. So, like, he's trying to decide who to ask.
Yeah, that's fair. So, if you stay here, he pulls a book out, and he's kind of estimating that she's been asleep for a couple million years.
Whew.
She was one of the first Celestials, and him and his group were supposed to be guarding her, but when the library was destroyed, they thought that everybody had been killed along with it. They did not realize she was still alive. He is the last one. He will explain that to her. He'll also explain how they came to be guarding that library, which was before the other planes came into existence. Like, within the same world and melded together. Each of the gods had chosen a sage, essentially, to take care of things. And they were supposed to guard the knowledge of the world, as well as its guardians. Which was her and her siblings. Does she ask about Virtue?
Oh yeah. You're very much curious on what happens to the one corpse you couldn't find.
That one.
Fuck, that's dark to say.
Yeah, that one. Some guardian of the Maker came through and woke her up. Shortly after the events happened and caused the world to be what it was. She became a guardian, and as far as I'm aware, she had a family and lived a lovely life for a while. He kept the world at peace
seems
for a
relieved.
bit. Yeah, kept the world at peace for a bit. For the most part. You should probably be asking that one's mother what happened to her.
Wait, what? I was going to ask if you knew anything about...
He kind of thinks for a moment. Now, do I say it, or do I make your mother responsible and actually tell you truth about her guardianship? That is how he would phrase it, because he's an asshole.
Yeah, Ray's just staring, very openly confused.
How much do you believe your mother would tell you? Should I let you go talk to her and then you can come back to me?
He's going to motion to Mihi. She and 3 other corpses have wings like mine, and there's somebody with the name Virtue. I'm a little confused.
Just smiles. That's why I'm giving you the choice. Do you think your mother will give you the answers that you're looking for? Or do you want me to give them to you? He's still speaking in Celestial, so...
Yeah.
Me understands.
This group is very thoughtful, and I appreciate that.
I might return.
Very well. I'll wait to explain that part then when you get back.
Or we could call my mother here.
We could. Actually, that might make it more entertaining.
Be nice to her.
I'll try.
Side question.
Hmm?
Do I see any books or something lying around?
Probably not here.
Damn it. Okay.
It's probably just the one he's holding. Which looks like a journal of some kind. But it's pretty old looking. It looks like that it's been probably something that the sages kept to record specifics. Because he was reading out of that when he was coming up with roughly how long she had been asleep.
Is any of the words on the page tilted in a way to where she could possibly attempt to look at it?
Probably.
She will be attempting to look at it.
Essentially the page he's on, it is describing kind of what he explained, that they were deemed to guard her and her siblings, as well as that library of knowledge that she had originally built herself.
And I'm assuming it's written in more modern Celestial.
It's kind of a mix. It looks like different people took different notes. Different handwriting.
I dig it.
Some of it looks like it was dependent on which god was explaining it, was written differently, or what their tasks were. But it all kind of falls into the same category of the creator is the one who told the gods what to do. It's noted in there. Yeah, I'm sure him saying, "Oh, my scouts are back," is now clicking. As Cam walks in. Because when he notices that she's kind of looking at it, he'll hold it out to her if she wants to kind of skim through it. And it's a lot of...
She very much will.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of explanations on the different gods, what each one was tasked to guard, and which sections of knowledge, and... There is some information about you and the siblings that was to guard them until the right people came.
Mm.
And they would know who it was when the time was right.
Yeah, like hearing Cam can and she'll just kind of look at him. Would thou be willing to lend this to me for a time?
Sure, just be careful with it. The last thing to remind me of the rest of the assholes I lived with.
Understood. Define.
What?
Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Right. So, Cam, him now making the comment about the whole scouts have returned thing, and you came to the teleporter room where your son is.
Yeah. Now she's looking at Reyan like, thought I told you. He's like, I know.
You don't want to talk to yourself, Spark?
I know.
Yeah.
What exactly is... Who is this?
Well, the best way to describe her is she is one of the first children of the world.
I'm
Try
also
that
assuming
again?
Cam didn't enter the room speaking Celestial.
She would not... She's not aware that that is the only language that Mihi can speak, so... No.
Excellent.
She's also the
Perfect.
person, one of the several people that you and your family were guarding once upon a time.
Huh.
Where you would go, it was another entrance to this place. You just didn't know that. Because nobody knew how to frickin' enter.
Nope.
They
We were just told, guard door. Door will open eventually.
Yep.
When door open, you step inside. If door no open, well, you now step inside.
Alright, now I'm curious.
She only speaks Celestial, by the way. You might want to switch up the language.
My apologies as she switches.
It's not all this one.
Right. She was asking about virtue.
Visibly tenses.
And what had happened to her sister.
Her what now?
What, you didn't know that your grandmother was one of her sisters? He just smirks.
Now? Reyan, like, her...
just gives that smirk of, I'm causing drama.
Drama.
Hmm. Looks at me. My name is Kamaria Janice, and yes, Virtue is a great grandmother of mine, or just her grandmother. I can't
Just
remember.
grandmother.
No. Okay, is my grandmother.
To explain, the Moonborn were created as another set of guardians.
Processing intensifies.
So by technicality, this is your great aunt. Or your aunt, or whatever you want to call her. Great aunt, right? Yeah. When it's a
Yeah.
grandmother.
Yeah. So wait, let me get this straight. The name Virtue that was thrown around in reference to guardians and angels and things of this nature is related to us?
Your father was her son.
Hey.
Just pinching the bridge of her nose.
Although I'm not sure how much he knew about it, to be fair.
I will explain. Why don't you go find your grandfather? Just the please leave. I have to figure out how to how to deal with this.
Oh no, I think he should hear this.
Hmm.
I mean, these two are related. Descendants. As he kind of looks at me, do you know what that is? Or children?
Ed is shooketh.
Shooketh. Right, so your sister fell in love with another man and had a baby. Which in turn produced this line of children as he points to Cam and then Reyan.
Reyan has not stopped looking at his mother with his arms crossed and almost looks exactly like Zarvis would have.
And technically, she lives as a guardian within that sword. So she is still alive to some extent.
Why did you need me here to explain any of this? If you're just going to say it all out loud.
Because it's kind of funnier to see your reaction. Rather than, well, I mean, the other choice was to have him go to you, see what answers he could get, and then have him come back. Which was worse. That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah. Going to explain when.
His father was also blessed by one of her gifts. Well, not hers. The creator's. If you recall that he could just revive people on a whim.
Reyan nods to that because I'm pretty sure that came up in conversation.
Oh, yeah, why? His works?
Yeah. I'm sure it was a cautionary, like, we may want to be careful with that.
So you all... She had plans if the world ever fell into this kind of state. She saw it coming to some extent.
I see. My me as player realizes many emotions are kind of a foreign concept to this bird person right now. Who's not actually a bird, flat person.
You know... You bother to summon them, or are you gonna leave it at that for now?
No, Cam would have just... That was what she was going to do, and when she realizes that Reyan's not going to leave, she's just going to sigh and do it anyways.
Yeah. Well, the question is, because he had brought it up to Reyan of... You don't know much about the terms of, like, the guardianship and stuff, or about...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you see 3 people appear, Mihi.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily recognize her, but you do get this feeling of you know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you can't see her face, she does have this energy of just happiness looking at you.
So there's some definite recognition.
Yeah, they were still had their personalities to some extent. They just couldn't talk anymore. They were spiritual guardians that in death became immortalized in that weapon.
Yeah, she's just gonna slowly approach this one. Do they physically exist when poked?
You go to poke her and she hugs you.
Yeah.
One big happy family reunion.
There's like wing wrappage in this hug. This is a very touching moment.
Yeah, she does technically have wings still. I just couldn't find a picture that worked for it.
Ah, that's fair. I am just happy the wings on my picture were accidentally perfect.
Yeah.
Well, you noticed that something Cam probably noticed was her father's wings that became white. When they're alive, they're black, but they're white when they're transferred to guardianship.
Which made it really easy to wave it off and go like, oh, it's just family guardian angel.
Yeah.
Made that real easy.
Essentially.
I was saying, not wrong at the same time.
Cam in Celestial, not looking at her son at the moment. Hard to explain. This sword has been passed down in our family. It contains all the past guardians. Each time it is and it adds a new guardian to the line.
Virtue will kind of motion to this winged dog that's just sitting there wagging his tail looking at you, Mihi. And Elijah will smile. That was the animal that came to us and woke up your sister.
Will attempt to lightly scritch.
We'll accept the screech. If you look at it, it kind of looks like a moon dog. With wings.
The best puppies.
The best puppies.
She is just kind of speechless at the moment.
Fair. He'll kind of explain that because this is all notes they would have had when Virtue started getting up there in age, because they don't necessarily age normally. They're not exactly human. So they do live a bit longer. She had passed the weapon down to her son. It kind of points to Valor, which is his name now, at least in the weapon form. Because they get different names.
Yeah.
Technically, hers was kept because that was what her role was.
Yeah.
Or was just changed to the more common version.
Listen.
who in turn passed it to his daughter when he felt that someone needed to take over. Because he'll also kind of explain that the sword basically made them immortal, but there is a certain limit to being able to continue doing it. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
They grow tired after a while. Because technically they could continue doing it forever, but everybody who is immortal would probably grow tired of if they had the choice to die, they could.
Yeah.
Especially after watching everyone else around them die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can only live so long.
Dying.
You can only live so
Yeah.
long before you're like, I don't want to leave my family outside of actually leaving them now. And that's probably actually how he'll explain it, is once they had families, it became harder to want to continue.
Yeah, just looking at virtue. So thou had a full life.
She nods.
What would you think to say this, right? Nope. Nope. She's just chilling in the moment.
Yeah, she's not aware of what happened. Actually, no, she probably is. She's probably really happy to see you, because most likely Elijah had told her when Cam didn't realize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just so she had some clarity of what happened to them.
Yeah, well, it's a thing on this side. She's definitely not hiding a kind of somber feel she has at the moment.
She's probably still holding you, kind of rubbing your head in a comforting way. Because this would have been one of your older sisters. Because she's actually had a little bit of time to process it.
Yeah.
Hey, you hadn't seen this token yet, had you, Cam?
Nope.
You never
Nope,
summoned him during...
I had not had the chance to yet, because we were trying to keep it all on the down low for a hot second, and if she had, they would have picked up on it immediately.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it was short-lived. The hiding Cam's new role.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably very short-lived.
And to explain the other two's roles in this, well, one was chosen, as you saw by the little animal that follows him. And the other... he's been given his own little gift that he has yet to discover.
Right. Oh, it seems we all have a task to complete then.
Cam is looking at Mihi and then Elijah. Task. Now?
Yeah, I believe they've been working on something and had asked for who would be the best candidates. I may have put in the suggestions.
Elijah?
Yes.
He is 16.
The other one's 14.
They are children.
With great power, actually. They'll be traveling with with basically a goddess. They'll be fine.
Traveling where? That's not happening.
That is not for me to say. That is something that you go and ask Hunter and Dax.
What do you mean, Hunter and Who all knows about this?
They don't know the details. They just know the recommendations. Same with the other two. You kind of assume who the other two are without him actually saying.
Yeah.
Which would be Amos and Ace. They don't know the details,
Yeah.
they just know who was recommended. If they pull this off, they can fix a lot of the world.
That is a very large if.
Oh, they've got some motivation.
Out of character, why does that sound way more ominous?
I know, right? Reyan looking confused between mom and Catboy. Motivation? What exactly do you mean?
Saving the people you lost. That's why you should probably go talk to them.
Think we're done talking here?
Yeah, he suddenly wants to go find out information.
It's not just information, it's
Oh no.
wanting. Yeah, I'm noticing the.
Yeah. It's trying. It's trying so hard.
It's fine. You can do it.
No, I can't. It's been stupid. Help.
I only help I have are mallets.
And the internet's not afraid of you and your mallet. Yeah, but I say it's not afraid of you and your mallet.
No, it's not.
It laughs at you.
I know.
Internet, I'll give you to the count of 3.
Trying.
Did it call?
It's semi-calm. There we go.
Okay. It's not just needing to go talk to, like, other people that know information, it's also now trying to get her son away from this.
Yeah.
Cause, yeah.
He's just kind of... Was it Cam that said that?
Which
That
thing?
we're done talking?
Yes.
He's just... He doesn't say anything, he's just grinning at you.
I love Elijah so much.
Yeah. We're gonna skip over to these two because right now Reyan is busy and is to not be disturbed according to what messages have been relayed.
It's fine.
These two have been asked to go see Hunter, though. Or Hunter is looking for them.
Yes.
I am gonna go ahead and lead these two back over here.
She just drag him out.
It's basically like, you do not have a choice, you're coming back with me right now. She's going to find Caleb first!
Yeah, these two will follow. Virtue will kind of bow her head and motion that she has to follow.
Yeah, Mihi will do a follow as well, unless otherwise requested to stay.
No, Cam just wants her son away from that!
No more information drops?
Yeah, no!
Yeah, he'll go back. But as Mihi's leaving, he is going to say that if she ever wishes to visit what they have recovered from that library, he will take her there.
Another time.
Just come seek him out, basically.
Yep. That will definitely happen at some point in the future.
Oh yeah, you guys will have to make trips back here in between everything, so. And they can be kind of at a range away from you, Cam, so if you wanted to be in a separate room, you could be.
Yeah.
I think it's like 60 feet or something.
Yeah, she'll explain that to me. He like, this is how far away they can be, so you can hang out here.
And she'll
We're
basically
going in
stay
here.
around until something, she'll quote-unquote kills her, and then she can be resummoned again and all that, I imagine.
Yeah.
It's fine. She's just here near a bunch of new and interesting people.
Oh yeah, you see a lot of interesting figures as you walk through. Tons of different races of people. But yeah. We'll head over.
Yeah.
Hunter's kind of tinkering with some stuff on a table at the moment when you enter, and he'll look at you both. Where's the third one?
I'm going to take a wild guess. You're meaning
And the fourth
Cam's son.
one. And the supposed fourth one.
Well, let's see. The original one you mentioned, I'm assuming you mean Reyan. We left him to deal with Elijah and his mother.
Oh, that poor boy.
And last we saw, the other one was with them.
Oh.
After I shoved her through the portal.
We're gonna pin on that. And I will catch him up later then. And you do see Dax and April are in the room as well. They're kind of sitting off to the side and talking amongst themselves. So how would you two feel about possibly saving the world? He goes back to tinkering.
To make a roll real quick. Give me a second. Yeah, he doesn't take a pose. He just kind of laughs a little bit.
What's so funny?
In what way are we going to save it? I'm aware of what is out there, and for the most part.
Well, first, you would have to do some things in order to fight the things out there. Starting off by weakening them. I'm going to be blunt. Thanks to April's help and Dax and I working on this device here, he kind of points at it. It's still being worked on. It's not quite complete yet. You'll be able to return to the past and change events.
Right?
This includes saving people that can help us fight.
Another roll. Okay. Right.
But keep in mind, whatever you choose to interfere with will change things here. And it may work and it may not.
Hunter's still looking at what he's tinkering on, or is he looking at those two?
He hasn't looked up.
Cool. What's Julius doing?
Julius is kind of processing in thought at the moment. He's not saying anything, but he looks like he's thinking about something as all this is mentioned.
Yeah, the reason I asked, because again, I'm so grateful that changelings don't exactly have pupils.
Yeah, make an insight if you want to like try to figure out.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's see.
Little bit of what.
Oh, that's a beautiful number. Let's see, how bad is this going to be? I mean, it's not bad. It's a 14 on the dice of 15.
15?
I missed my +9.
He's... Whatever he's thinking about, it's making him kind of sad to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't start giving that kind of look until it was mentioned to save people that could help. You probably can guess what he might be thinking about. He just hasn't really explained much about his past, but you can kind of take a guess that his parents don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Or whoever he grew up with.
Yeah, you know, technically they share that in that regard.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he grew up at the village, but that's not the point. There wasn't before. I had to roll a wisdom saving throw, and that's why I'm debating on how he's going to say this, because he it was a dirty 20 on the save, so he's
Mm-hmm.
kept himself composed. Do we already have pinpoints on where it'd be the best option to go back to?
You kind of look at April, who will stand up. There is no such thing as a best option, if that makes sense.
What I was afraid of?
There are many events that you could change that could change somebody's fate, whether they lived or died over the years. This includes all the dragons that fell. Loved ones. The cities. You'll have to speak with others that are alive to find out information, and with those you save. Keeping in mind that you will remember everything, both how it was here and what you changed, while everyone else's memories will change of what happened, if that makes sense. Say you were to save somebody. Nobody would remember that they were ever gone except you. And that is one of the curses of my ability. That may affect you in different ways, mentally, and you must prepare yourself for that.
Well, there's no best options. I'm sure there's a point in time where it would be best to test this.
There are some minor events that could change things or not. See, I'm going through the list here of what she would think of, because she's probably been kind of informed of different things. She probably actually went around asking people if they could have changed something, what would they have done? Or what would they have tried to prevent? You know what? Give me 3 names of any of these characters that are alive.
Oh, jeez.
Right. If you're not sure who these 3 are, these were the revived 3 of the revived people from the limbo.
Okay.
That was just pictures that looked as good as I could get.
Fair.
She'll actually ask that. She'll say, choose 3 people. I've asked them all. Well, basically. Of what event would they have wanted to stop or help with?
Fuck, man.
That is a good question. How would Harx answer that? Because you know everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small community, so everybody kind of knows everybody. Not maybe personally, but like at least have had contact at least once.
And it is made aware that everybody has lost somebody or something.
Yeah.
I know, you're having to like look through.
Mm-hmm. Eeny, meeny, this one.
This is probably what she'll do each time, is she'll ask for like 3 people, because some of them technically had multiple events.
Yeah. I imagine party, like, our
Mm-hmm.
probably had multiple.
Yeah.
Here's some greater good options that we've thought of, and there's some personal ones.
Yeah. She will say Mystic's the only one that she has not been able to get any information out of, because she doesn't really talk much. She says like a word or 2 and that's it. And she just seems like a happy child with no memories.
The first one he'll say?
Mm-hmm.
Mason.
Okay.
Second one.
It could be in this room too. It doesn't necessarily have to be out of there.
Yeah, I know.
A Mason.
The player's also sitting here thinking of, honestly, the obvious of how would he react to this question, who would he pick?
Mm-hmm.
But then, knowing what a lot of them has gone through, he's trying to think of what might be the easiest to try and change. No, it's not going to be an easy one, but I mean, I don't know. It might not be. We'll see. He'll look at Dax. As the next one.
Okay. I think I have one for him listed somewhere on this.
Fuck advance.
Advance? Okay.
As I danced around the board several fucking times.
Yeah.
She thinks for a moment. Mason has 2 separate events. Would you like me to list them both, or just one?
Give me both.
He wished he could have been there to save his mother and his siblings. And later, his father.
Baby.
He may have already decided in which order those are going to go in, because one might prevent the other.
Let's see. It may not.
Uh-huh.
I'll make rolls, basically, to decide whether it did or not.
Yeah.
Or if it just made so some lived or something.
Mhm.
For Vance, it's the same question. He has 2. Well, 3 actually. Is it the same answer?
I'd like to hear all 3 of those as well.
He surprised me a little bit. I thought that he'd want to bring his own parents back. Turned out, all he wanted to do was find his brother's mother. Save his siblings and his family, their village, of course, which will all tie in together in those ones. And... oh, shit. Hold up.
We can kind of hear you. You're a little.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the internet thing.
Yeah.
It's being zeroed.
Yeah, I watched it.
No, it's
Start
still doing
rising
it.
a little bit.
It's still doing
Yeah.
it. Oh. So yeah, save Spencer's mother, basically. Save the village and his siblings.
Uh-huh.
So he's not sure what happened to the mom. She will specify that when she explained that. More finding her.
Yeah.
And third, saving his brother and sister-in-law so that his nephew may have his parents back.
Well,
He's a very selfless young man. What would Dax wanted to change, though? Because he's still got the people that he cared about around. Which was basically these 3.
uh-huh.
Let me look for here. All Dax ever wanted was to be accepted by his family. He kind of sinks down a little bit.
Sweet kid.
That's a bit of a harder feat than you think. 'Cause that would have been the only thing he ever wanted.
Yeah.
It's not always an easy feat, as you may think. Shut up. Nothing is ever easy to change the past.
Well, shit. It's fine. Everything is fine. Nothing is broken. Nothing will be broken.
Are you sure about this?
Not in the fucking slightest.
She might be prompting to see if he'll ask another question or not.
He might.
He can respond via that because she's technically using message. Special magics.
I want to take. Do I say it out loud or do I respond to the DM?
Do you leave it a secret? That is up to you.
I've decided.
Rejoin.
Oh, that is not the question I expected.
Explains things.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to answer with the question that was expected.
That's something.
My brain, that was the only thing that...
She knows your ties with something that was said. Does that make sense?
Oh. Sorry, my brain is fried at the moment. My brain is... If it were chicken, it would be fried.
Ooh.
This happens to the best of us.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, it is. You're welcome for the loaded question.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yep, lots of whispers.
A lot of
Uh-huh.
whispers.
This is a loaded question.
Great.
It's fine. Player brain still did not understand the reasoning for things, and player brain decided, you know what, fuck it, this is what he's asking.
It's fine. This is a loaded list.
Good.
Now the real question is, how are we going to go about convincing Cam?
Do we convince Cam or do we just not tell her?
Yeah, that will be the catch.
Or do we guilt trip Cam?
That's... I don't know if Cam can be guilt-tripped.
I think I know one question to ask that
Go ahead.
might.
Go ahead and tell me what question.
The question would be along the lines, would you like to give your child the chance to have his father?
Ooh, ouchie.
See, as much as she wants that, that would risk sending her child to try and go get him. She will not risk both. She knows what happened and what led up to everything. For the most part. She's not gonna put her son in that situation. And most of all, she definitely doesn't want him to see all that!
You know?
It was kind of a disaster that he is not fully aware of.
Fine.
Everybody was Kung Fu Friday.
Ah!
I don't know what Aspire for concerned about. The fact that Cam's gonna not probably know that her son's going to the past. Or the amount of whispers.
Yes.
So how goes Confusion Land for Mihi?
I'm just trying to figure out how she's going to word some of this.
Oh no, that's fine. Confusion Land. I have to make another save. And this is going to be a self-imposed very high DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do. Causing problems before we even really get started.
It's fine.
That's not how you spell that word.
Yeah, there you go. That's that.
Sad amount of Cheez-Its.
Aww, I have more Cheez-Its in my place.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Vogel.
Excellent.
Vogel, so we have snakes now.
Sneak.
Something you guys never went back and checked on or dealt with.
Concern?
It did have something to do with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm not mistaken. I almost want to roll a high enough check on that to realize that.
Mm-hmm. And you probably are aware of this place because I imagine with you having a relationship with Ace and Amos, it may have been mentioned over the years.
Yeah.
Whether or not Amos admitted that he's pretty sure that's what happened is another story. might not have been a conversation that he wanted to bring up because of Hunter.
No, and he also blamed himself.
Yeah, that's information you gotta go get from
Yep.
the original party.
Yep, it's fine. Yeah.
Which is only Cam and Amos at the moment. But yeah, there you go. That's the answer to that question. So,
I have
whatever time you wish to go back to, you can think about once you get a rough date, essentially, or you can jump further back if need be. Just keep in mind that once you interfere with something, there is no going back to change. Whatever you do is what will change the events. And you won't know when they'll retake place necessarily. Or if they'll take place, to go back and keep changing it. There is no fixing a mistake if you make it. I'm not sure how else to word it.
I'm trying to figure out how he's gonna word this. Is Hunter still tinkering on?
Yeah, he hasn't. He's still listening, but he's not. He's focused on what he's building.
Okay. The Silver Groves are from the Beastlands, right?
He nods. Is he asking Hunter or is he asking her?
He's just asking it.
Yeah, then he'll be the one to kind of nod to that.
Cool. Harx hurries off.
Hmm.
Harx hurries off. He leaves.
Okay.
And he is going to get Vance and drag Vance to the office where Amos, Ace, and Jack are.
Got it. Jack's probably not actually in there.
That's fine. Yeah, he's going to drag
Jack
him
was
off
there
to
too,
Ace and
but-
Amos. It's fine.
Oh, hey,
Eventually.
kid, what's up? Oh, shit. Where are we going?
Good talk.
What'd I do?
Not you. And he would come barging in with Vance in tow.
What do we owe the pleasure?
The Coast House and the Beastlands. Looks at Vance, looks at Amos, looks at Ace.
Oh, that's a subject.
Oh,
I feel like Ace. Yeah, I feel like Ace probably knows by now what happened.
So, an opportunity has been presented to us, and I would like to know what do you all know of it? More importantly, the curse.
time in here. Most people avoided it because of that rumor of anyone who entered it disappeared, or some say that they came out of it not quite the same.
Well, let's see. Looks at Amos. Did you come out of it the same? Which Amos would reply, no, I didn't. And he thinks he knows where this is going.
I feel you have a reason for asking this.
Indeed, as I said, an opportunity has been presented to us to fix mistakes and things that have happened, to possibly get us more allies, and to bring back people that were lost, along with making sure what has happened does not happen.
Well, the only reason that you'd be returning to that house has to do with those two girls, doesn't it?
Partially, but also your son.
I don't want to know. Interesting fact about those girls. You know they were living there at one point? How Ace knows this? Don't question it.
But what if we did?
I mean, if you want to question it, you can.
Well, that's the problem now, isn't it? Their souls were attached to it. Looks to Amos, and then to the others. And if souls are destroyed within it, there's no people anymore.
Well, I will say, they didn't seem like they were as attached when I picked them up, but you know...
That's not where their souls were attached, was it, Amos? This talking to yourself thing is very difficult.
Isn't it?
Ain't it just?
I do it as NPCs all the time, but it's different when it's your two-player characters.
Yeah.
No, their souls were connected in limbo.
That house was attached there. My guess is that they were friends with some of the spirits, and that's why they were never harmed. They were looking for friends at one point, weren't they? He looks at Amos.
They were. They very much were.
Alright, so that might be my fault. I might have taken their friends away. Got it.
How long ago was that?
Let's see, I'm trying to remember how old those two were. Almost 40 years ago now. Time is kind of a blur for me, so I can't give you an exact date, unfortunately.
I'm sure someone can. Did you know of the people who lived there before?
Uh, I knew of them. I actually thought the house was inhabited for a bit, until I realized it was just spirits. My guess is it's a bit before my time. Although, Amos, would recall that you guys did figure out roughly how old the family was.
Yeah.
They were somewhere in the 400 to 500 years old.
Yeah.
So before the plains were what they were, this was somewhere in the actual Beastlands. Which is also one thing.
Okay, here's gonna be a difficult question because player doesn't remember the exact details because they learned about the curse while they were in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But so this question, I might need some DM assistance.
Okay.
Are you aware of he'll look at Amos, are you aware of the origin of the curse?
You, at the time, and you could just say this is almost explaining it, you were made aware that that a little girl had gone missing. It was a child that had been raised by the father there, but was through an affair between the wife and one of the workers.
Mm-hmm.
And she disappeared and was later found dead. Or no, she actually wasn't even found dead. She was buried in the garden. Because the father was looking for her. And when he discovered what had happened, he personally made a deal with something and put a curse on anyone who ever lived in that house or stepped into that house to make them suffer like he did at the loss of his daughter.
All right.
And he specifically targeted that family. But the only person he ever left alone was the wife. That was all stuff you had figured out in there.
Yeah. Did we ever figure out who it was that actually essentially killed the girl?
It was the creepy doctor in the basement.
Right. Okay. All right, good talk. And he leaves.
Uh,
And he'll head back to the room as far as they were in.
Just gonna look at Amos. That child confuses me.
Yeah, well, you know, I think we have something to do with that.
You know, I'd like to plead the fifth on that one.
It's a wonder a majority of the other ones didn't end up like that.
Hey, look, nothing wrong with them ending up a little bit like us, right?
Yeah, but
He's
Yeah.
got your determination.
yeah, and your stubbornness.
Wonderful combination. Not gonna go wrong at all.
Oh. Fuck it, I want to say it out loud now.
He like walked over and is kind of watching what he's doing at this point.
He walks back in. So, we're going off the rails a bit. Time-wise,
Yeah, technically there was an exact date on that paper, which Amos would remember. I just don't remember it offhand.
that's fine. That's fine. He would have probably given it to...
At least that's when that picture was taken, and you assume that she was still alive during that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really all you got?
Mm-hmm. I need to go back. Well, we will need to go back and stop a little girl from being killed. As that is what brought on the curse of that house.
We're going to a cursed house?
Oh, hopefully it's not cursed. When we get there, I want to go back before the little girl was killed.
Hunter's gonna kind of look up at this point. It's an interesting task.
Yeah, well, you see, it would be less interesting if... It'd be more interesting if you remembered when we get back.
Concerning. He just goes back to work. Like, right.
that tracks.
Well, there's a step one into making sure our family is back. So, I guess we can summon the other two.
He stops working as you say that. He doesn't say anything, but he does actually, like, physically stop.
Well, if we can, summon the other two, I guess find a way to convince Cam that her child isn't doing this. I don't know exactly what happened after we left. But obviously she wasn't a fan of him going to the library in general. I don't think she's going to be a huge fan of this.
I'll go get him. She's like, sets everything down, walks out, like, does not look forward to dealing with Cam. Dax will actually probably get up and kind of start messing with it a little bit too now that he's gone. They've been working on it together.
Yeah, to Julius.
Mm-hmm.
So, the plan is to go back enter hundreds of years time period here. You don't have to actually say the time. Well, something happened then that then ended up radiating to events closer to now. And some things happened before your time that are now going to be fixed. And this in turn gives more protection to the village. Which means more people are about to From the sound of it, unfortunately, no, you were selected. If it makes you feel any better, you are going to meet two wonderful people that would have been in charge of making sure the village stayed safe.
He just looks really distraught by this event.
It's a mood.
Yeah, he's not sure. He's processing. He does not know if he wants to go. Jesus, Shadow, thank you for the bits.
Thank you, Shadow, good sir.
Hunter is going to kind of walk up to whatever door Cam is behind, stop and look at me, and tilts his head a bit. Interesting. He's gonna go knock on the door.
There was probably loud voices behind the door. They stop.
I feel like it was went to knock, hesitates, and then
Loud voices stop. Cam goes to the door, opens it. The answer is no.
I didn't even get to say anything yet.
The answer is no.
And why?
He's 16 for one.
Well, technically, I'm 18. Kind of motions to how he looks.
You're on a technicality.
Okay. Is there another reason other than his age? And you don't even know what I'm gonna ask yet.
Whatever task Elijah's put him up for, the answer's no.
Even if it means that it might change things.
There is a risk to his life? Absolutely not.
There's a risk currently to his life just being here.
Yes, and I can keep an eye on him here. I know what is here.
I'm sure you said the same about your home.
Shh.
Are you at least hear me out?
Motions him inside. I am going to assume Caleb's also there because Reyan probably asked him to be there.
I feel like he's also getting yelled at in a weird way.
Yeah. No! Do not encourage this!
It's a big boy. No.
No! He can handle himself! We trained him!
He can make his own decisions.
He's a grown boy.
He's 16! That does
an
not
adult
make him
in-
grown!
He's an adult in some cultures. Thank you very much. To be fair, 12 is an adult in some cultures.
I don't think I have a dab emote, Shadow.
It's fine.
Oh,
You have...
hold on. Hello?
Hello?
Oh no.
Hold on.
Fight it.
Everything's being...
It's spiky.
It's doing the walk.
Spiky thumbs.
It is doing the spiky. Good now? Okay. Maybe? No, we're not.
Maybe.
I lied.
It was good, and then...
I lied.
And then it said, no.
Don't ever lie like this. Behave yourself. Minutes is sufficient. I'm not sure that's how that works.
Oh man.
Gosh. It's trying.
You're not sure that's how
It
it
is,
works.
it is
but
trying very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you're not sure that's how it works, our Shadow figure it out.
he's gonna go sit down and just kind of read the situation for a second and have this look of, what did I walk into? Right. Dax and I have made something with the help of April. We are given the chance to send some people back in time. To fix events. Harx seems dead set to fix one in particular, as he was trying to figure out what might be the simpler task and less dangerous. Although I guess that is a question on what you consider dangerous. Just to test how well it will work and if it'll change anything. Hello?
Yeah, sorry. Cam's just kind of staring and Reyan keeps looking between Mom and Hunter at the moment. Reyan speaks up at this point. This has got something to do with the, great aunt I found out about today.
Is that who the winged lady is?
Yeah. Come to find out.
Good to know. Most likely she's the other one that's going with you. He's gonna look at you, Cam.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think I'm not a little annoyed by this as well, my choices would have been others, to be honest. Those are two of my children going as well. But believe me when I say I do know how you feel.
Then why not this? Why not let some of us who can handle this handle it?
Because as much as the guy is annoying, do you trust his judgment? He seems to believe that these are the only four that can do anything.
And it has to be now.
I don't know. My concern is, though, the longer we wait, the more likely we're found. And it'll be too late. Each day that passes is a risk. You can't tell me you're happy being cooped up in this place. Waiting for an inevitable dragon to come and find us.
No, but this is not a solution.
The theory, this is where I want you to hear me out. By changing certain events of the past, we'll be changing how things are here. Doing things that will weaken the dragon, as well as his allies. Bringing in more fighters that can help defend it. More that would survive. If you imagine how much easier it would be to deal with it if we even stopped it from getting to 5 dragons. 5 less added to its power pool.
Trust me, I think about that on the regular.
What if we were able to stop events that say took your father away? Where he wouldn't have felt the need to give you that weapon. Saved your family that you traveled with once. I understand that you've thought about it, but now it's a possibility. I can't guarantee that we'll save everyone, or that they still won't fall after everything. But isn't even just the chance something to try for?
My answer to that. It is who is the problem. And I know you understand that better than anyone.
I do. But I also understand that how they might feel about it to save people they cared about was more important than how I felt. It may mean that I never end up meeting them, but it was a risk I was willing to take. They had a chance to get their families back, live a different life than in that village or here. Maybe be happy, then yeah, I'm willing to send mine back.
Ooh.
Have you asked him what he wants? He'll nod to Reyan.
She already knows. Reyan speaks up at that point. She's been yelling at me about it for the past half an hour.
You know, I heard stories of the little runaway. She looks at Cam.
Mm-hmm.
That left her home to go on an adventure. Better be careful before this one does it to you too. Throw in the, oh yeah. You were like arranged to be married at one point and semi-under lock and key to some extent. It's not that you were like forced to stay, but there were rules and there were strict because Dad worried.
Yeah. And then Dad dropped the bomb of the sword thing, and she's like, I gotta go. I need to leave.
Yeah.
I need to not be here.
All I'm saying is, if this one were to make some similar choices that his mother made in life, I think I'd rather.
We should all be worried.
That is true, but I was going to say I'd rather it be in a world that you could at least walk around without having to look over your shoulder every 2 seconds.
I'd like for him to live that.
I'm not saying it's not a risk. That is a valid concern. I am saying to consider that the risk might be worth it, because it's not like he'll stop existing if your husband stayed around. He just won't remember being the one to jump back. Essentially, think of it like an alternate universe being created right in front of us. If one of them were to fall, technically if they were to still live or would have been born, they would still be here. They would just live with the different memories. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because as I told the other two, look at Reyan. Well, as April told the other two, the downside to using her ability is you will remember everything as it was. Everyone else here will have different recollections as you fix things.
I'm sure that's not traumatic at all.
You did say that you have to mentally prepare for something like that.
Right.
And now once you fix something, you can't continue to go back to fix it. So if you make a mistake, you have to live with it.
Oh, you mean like every other day of my life, so that sounds about right.
You don't let him live anything down, do you? He looks at Cam.
you know how both parents are, you try not to.
It's not really saying hi, but it's making like a noise that sounds like it's trying to mimic it a little bit.
Scritch's scuttle.
Scuttle is the bestest boy.
Pops her. With the carrot.
His special carrot.
Fucking everlasting carrot that never fucking withers.
Fucking A. Fucking A.
Mm-hmm.
And he never eats.
No, well, he's a homunculus. He doesn't have to eat.
Yeah, I know.
He does eat, though.
I just think it's adorable. He just has a carrot with him the entire time.
He eats.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. No,
Not
just need some cake.
The device is not quite finished. It's going to take me at least another day or two. Use that time to think about it and actually talk, not yell. I'm not going to make anyone do this who doesn't want to. Elijah, on the other hand, might be another story.
I am willing to put that man into the ground.
You're willing to take on a few hundred-year-old sage with infinite knowledge of magic?
Wouldn't you for family?
I'd stand out there and fight that dragon alone if it meant defending those kids.
Exactly. I might be a coward, but some things are a little different.
It's a weird process, too. From what I understand, they will use this device to go to whatever time period they plan to, or further back if they choose to not interfere yet, or need to. And then they'll come right back as if they never left. Although they may still have to explain any injuries they come back with, because while we'll be aware of the device, we won't necessarily know when they leave, if that makes sense.
It's basically blinking, they're fine, and then they're not. All of a sudden, no knowledge as to why.
We could make arrangements for certain people to be prepared for their return. To help them if they are injured or anything happens.
Reyan raises a finger, and technically I can heal us and make sure we're fine.
As of right now, they don't have much of a healer with them.
Motions at Hunter! Like, eh?
I mean, they have some ability, but not a lot. Those two don't have much magic with them. I'm not sure about her abilities out there at all.
I do not know. I have not had the chance to speak with her long enough, other than Elijah forcing a conversation I did not want to have yet.
Is there like a window open or anything?
Probably.
He's gonna go pester. Probably the dog, actually.
Yeah.
And play with Duggle. Which is a really weird creature. Like, the dog, in general, she hadn't seen animals before. Scuttle is a weird-looking creature compared to the dog.
Yeah. Also, Drag, if you're saying things, you're muted.
Mihi's just been, Mihi at her. Although, this mysterious flap is new and interesting.
The new flap.
I'll let you think
Activating if
about
she wants to
it.
poke it.
I'll let you think about it. But I will come back for an answer when that device is finished. I'm not asking you to put your faith in me, or in Elijah, or anyone else. I'm asking you to put your faith in him. Points to Reyan.
Kind of does one of those sheepish smiles his father used to do. Talk.
And that's my cue to leave, isn't it? Heads towards the door.
Catch you later, Hunter.
Hopefully I'll get some good news. And step out. Kind of look at Scuttle. Come on. I can't make the noise right now because my throat wouldn't let me. But,
Fair.
no. He'll actually stop for a sec. Stop next to her. Who are you for fixing the world?
Is this a language he understands?
No one's told him this yet.
No.
But he's currently speaking common.
Head tilt of confused.
Did I say something wrong?
Poor Hunter, man.
I know.
Unless she speaks, he can't. He's not gonna be able to tell.
I'm sorry, what? But in slightly more old-timey than that because my brain is on the...
Let me double check if Hunter speaks Celestial, because I actually don't remember. Dun, dun, dun. He might, but I gotta double check it.
of questions.
Oh, he does. He speaks Sylvan and Celestial.
Hey! Worked out.
Yeah, he'll respond back in Celestial. Do you not understand Common?
That's what it's called.
Hmm?
Tis what that language is called.
nods. It's a language most people know to communicate with each other. Although there are others. All I asked was if you were planning on joining with the fixing the world thing.
Lux had a purpose for having this rest.
Judging by the way you speak, you're much older than you look. Although I guess I should be used to that because I am too. And he's just gonna turn and walk away. He's like over 100. Yeah.
Vamp Blood do some fun things.
Yeah.
They do.
No context behind that. Just, I'm also much older than I look. What does that mean? Just wait till she meets Ace.
Dear Lord.
Who looks like he's like 20. 18 to 20 himself. And then you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm like 300.
It's been like a lot.
It's been a long time.
Looks 2 years older than his son.
Responsible for the rise and fall of some nations.
Jack also doesn't look his age. There's a few people that don't look their age. Well, there's others that do.
For whatever reason, I'd look my apparent true age and I just fall to a pile of dust. Can't talk somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good place to call it.
Fair.
For Mihi's sake, she is welcome to go around and attempt to interact with people in RP setting.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There are so many weird and interesting people whose ears are pokeable.
I mean, even human it was not a thing when she was alive. Like, she said they were Nephilims?
Yep.
Is what their race is considered?
Ah. Fun.
You know, just minus the whole mortal parent and just like, they exist now.
Mm-hmm. And you grew up, normally.
Yeah. Which I love how I find that race. Like, age. No one really knows the oldest one they found was murdered at 134.
Concern? But okay.
Yeah. Good spot to stop. So I will let you figure out if she's following him to talk to him now after he said that. Because she might find him really fascinating with the artificer stuff. Because that's what she is.
Yeah, that weird flap creature. It's interesting. What is?
He'll explain it if she asked.
Yeah, there was gonna be some. How long is her sister in existence for at this point?
She's gonna be around a while, if I remember correctly.
She was okay. So your dad was almost 100.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in like his mid-30s when he was given that weapon.
Yeah.
So... Give me a minute to try to think here. I'd have to do some rough estimate math.
I think he's more asking, like, how long
The
is...
duration on the ability.
Yeah, the ability, the summons blasting.
Remember, it lasts until they die.
Yeah,
And then
so
you have to
she's-
wait until all three or all the guardians are gone, and then you can wait 7 days.
Yep. So
reset.
they're here for a hot bit.
Yeah, so if she were to ask Virtue if she'll be around for a while, she'd probably just nod.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for coming out to the new sessions. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's fine.
This is gonna be a good
I
time.
wish my family's dead.
God.